Hi everyone, welcome to the BlazeDex gaming channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about my speed build variant for the Necromancer using the Inarius set. So basically this speed build revolves around using gems to do your damage. As you can see, Pain and Enhancer and Gem of Officious Toxin do most of my damage, and then you use Trapped just to boost that damage up. This is a very fast-paced speed build variant. Technically speaking, you can play with uh, Trag'Oul's Corroded Fang and Lost Time. I'm using my Real Enough Shadow Hook right now because I got a primal and perfectly rolled, and my Trag'Oul's is not very good. You would want to have 10% damage on there instead of the attack speed, and you'd want secondary to have max essence. You want to go and grab your 330 essence for the Real Shadow Hook effect, which makes every point of essence increase your damage by 0.5%. Okay, so basically you want a full Inarius set except for your boots. In your cube, you'll want Ring of Royal Grandeurs. Go get your Inarius set bonus, 6 piece bonus. You want Aquila's Caress because that's going to reduce your damage by 50%. You're basically not using any essence in this build. And you want Trag'Oul's Corroded Fang. If you're using Trag'Oul's and Lost Time as your weapon and offhand, you'll want the Realina Shadow Hook instead if in your cube. Um, Using Trag'Oul's and Lost Time is the best possible output because then you'll get that bonus movement speed from the Lost Time, which I don't get, but the build is still really quick without that buff. So you want we went over the Inarius. You also want the Steward Greaves. Uh, you want that because every time you're going to Blood Rush, you then get a burst of 90% movement speed. Well, it can go up to 100% after using Blood Rush. That makes you run really fast during the riff. You also want working arm guards or Nemesis bracers. If I would have gotten any good Nemesis bracers, this I would be equipping Nemesis bracers instead of the arm guards. But until then, it's a little boost of speed once in a while. Um, so you'll want to go and get the max damage on chart that you can get. So on your gloves, int, attack speed, critical hit damage, critical chance, and off secondary resist. On your shoulders, you'll want int, vit, life percentage, and a bit of cooldown reduction, or armor. It's your choice, but I would go for cooldown reduction. You'll also want a secondary resist, which I don't have on there. Um, Helmet, int, vit, crit, and a secondary resist. If you can get it in, should even better. You want Traveler's Pledge and the Compass Rose to get that sweet 50% damage reduction while moving. And when you do a burst of damage while standing still, you'll get that damage buff. You want a convention of elements. Hopefully, you can get one that you can get attack speed, crit, damage, and crit chance on it. I wasn't able to, but if you can, it's even better. On your Compass Rose, same thing. You want attack speed, crit, and crit chance and critical hit damage, but I couldn't get the critical hit damage. You want to equip Dente's bindings. You want invit, life percentage, armor, and an off resist on there. You also want to get it as close as possible to that 50 damage reduction. Alright, so that's pretty much the items. If you have any questions, just leave me a message in the comments. I'll be glad to answer them. Also, now let's go over the skills. So you want Aura of Frailty, that's basically to kill the monsters when they reach 15%, and it's also to proc your corroded Trag'Oul's Corroded Fang, which will make you do 200% extra damage. You want Bone Armor, Armor of Anguish. You take the Armor of Anguish just to get that movement speed buff. You could also take Dislocation if you'd rather have some stun in the build. I go for Arvis of Anguish. You want to go with Arvis of Anguish, especially if you're using the Lost Time offhand, because then you benefit from the movement speed buff there as well. You want to go with Devour Cannibalize, which you will hotkey on your numpad so you can sticky key it. You want to go with Blood Rush Metabolism, which makes you run faster. Course Lance Brittle Touch, which you'll use only when you want to burst down an elite or when you're in Land of the Dead for the Rift Guardian. And you have Land of the Dead, which you don't really need for the build. It's there to speed things up with the packs and Rift Guardian. You want to make sure you have it for the Rift Guardian, else it's going to take an extra maybe 30 seconds on the Rift Guardian. So you want Spreading Malediction. So you receive a 1% damage bonus for every enemy afflicted by one of your curse. And with this build, you're pretty much going to be running through the rift and things will die behind you. So you want Spreading Malediction because you're going to get that damage bonus. You get Eternal Torment so that your not because of the the cost reduction, but because it's going to make your curse last forever. And as I said, you're going to be running through the rift. So everything is going to stay cursed. It's going to take that 200% extra damage while they die from your Pain Enhancer and Poisonous Toxin. You want Stand Alone because we're not using any minions, so that's a nice damage reduction boost. And you want Overwhelming Essence to go and get that 330 Essence maximum that you can get, and that applies to Relena Shadowhook. So I think I've covered most of what the build is about. Now I'm going to show you how the gameplay is. Basically, we're going to do a 60, which is equal to a T13 Rift, just to show you how it goes. So basically, you get in the Rift, you Blood Rush, you get that movement speed, and you just basically run. So you're going to notice I have my Devoured hotkey, so it just auto-casts it. When I get to a pack, I spam my Frozen Lance. You can also use your Frozen Land when you get to a pack. Even if you don't have the Frozen Land, you possibly will still have enough bodies on the ground from all the monsters you've killed to just spam the hell of the elite and kill them instantly. The rest of just basically dies on its own, so it's not a problem. As you can see, it's a really strong build. And you want to aim to have some Nemesis Bracers. It's too bad I don't have any. It slows me down a bit not having Nemesis, but I'm sure I'm going to get a nice Ancient Nemesis Bracer soon. Blizzard just wants to be nice with me for once. There we go. As you can see, it's really quick. Plus, it's really fun to play because it's a lazy build. You don't have much things to do. You just have to run. Things die. Which is the way I like it. It might not be the quickest build, but if it's not, it's pretty close to it. And it's the most easy to play since you're just running through things and you don't have to work your cooldown reduction to almost 80% for it to be efficient like the Pestilence build. This is just it's just simple. Harder to die as well. It's less squishy. Most of the Necromancer builds are really squishy. This one is a bit tough. That's what I like about it. And please, since the riff is almost done and shut down this video after it's done, please don't forget to leave a comment. If you like the video, if you're going to try the build, please put a like on the video. If you want to subscribe, it'd be a good idea. You can check in the comments of this video for my other videos I've done. I've done a cover up on the Ratma group build. I'm probably going to do one on the support for the group build, the 4-man group build as well. As you can see, I forgot to keep my Land of the Dead for the Rift Guardian, but he still died in about 15 seconds. So this is a build that's gonna make you do G riffs under 3 minutes, as you can see, and you only need to work on your gems a bit before you can do T13. You're gonna want, like I said, you want your you want Pain Enhancer, Gem of Efficious Toxin, and Bane of the Trap. Your main damage dealers are your gems on this build, so you have to make sure that your gems are pretty up there. You can still do this build at lower levels with lower level gems and level them as you go. So that's a good way to level your gems. All right, so that's it for the build. I hope you liked it. Don't forget to leave a comment, a like, subscribe to my videos. I'm gonna make a lot more videos coming about the Necromancer and the group setup. I'm probably gonna do one on the support Barbarian as well soon. And don't forget to check the cool gear I also have on in the comments with my Amazon affiliate links. Thank you very much for listening, and